back with Mark Pankratz and Tyler Ivins, as Tennessee has a pretty quick turnaround. They go Tuesday night, another late game, 9 o'clock tip, 8 o'clock local time there. But at Ole Miss, good quality team, top 30 in the net, top 30. Ken Palm 5-3 at home in the SEC. Chris Beard is the head coach there with the Rebels. And then Tennessee will close out at home against South Carolina. That should be a comfortable game to win. So I think a lot of the focus will be Ole Miss. It'll be senior day, and I recognize everything that goes into that. But South Carolina, they've lost all road games in SEC play, 7 of them by double digits. So the focus turns to Ole Miss on the road, turnaround against a quality NCAA tournament team that they're 9-7 in SEC play. Mark, they want to move up. What stands out about Ole Miss, what Tennessee will face on Tuesday?
Well, we talked about what gives Tennessee problems a lot of times is size, and Ole Miss does not have size. But Murray and Padula are guards that can really attack and shoot. They'll spread you out. The thing about this team is when they out-rebound opponents are 8-0. When they get out-rebounded, they've got almost a losing record. And so I like the fact that our toughness can prevail. We talked about, and John shared the stats, I think, 2 weeks ago, about the importance of point in the paint. I don't think this is going to be a game where we win the points in the paint battle off of penetration. I think it's one that we're going to have to dominate the offensive rebounds. We're going to have to get the ball inside to Igor and if Dubar gets in, and to Akpar. And then obviously we got to continue to guard the three-point shot because they can spread you out. They can get hot. But I think at this time, you saw it yesterday. When we stood around at that end of that game yesterday, the last 4 minutes, our offense got stagnant. Yeah, we made the shot, we won the game, but our offense got stagnant. We got to get the ball into the paint, and there's got to be ways, not just penetration with Zakai. It's going to be through other ways. If we can do that, we can win this game.
And by the way, quick correction, I apologize. Wednesday is when they'll play at Ole Miss, so not quite as quick of a turnaround. Does that help? I just gave them an extra 24 hours to get ready for the game on Wednesday instead of Tuesday?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So, and then South Carolina, what are we adding there? They've played better recently, but it's been at home. They just blew out Arkansas. They beat Texas by, I think, 15 a week ago. Those are 2 disappointing teams, though. But South Carolina at home, senior day, you just have to make sure you're prepared. You're going to win the game.
I would say so. The scouting report goes out of the window, really. If you're just dialed in and do what you're supposed to do against South Carolina, you should get that win.
Tyler, what might be interesting with these matchups, maybe more so Ole Miss because that's the closer game coming up on Wednesday, but from a betting standpoint, numbers you might be looking for here in the next couple days?
I agree with essentially everything that Mark just threw out there. Sean Padula, I'm not comparing their games, but he has a little Marshall Henderson in him where he will just throw it up, and throw it. It's caution to the wind is Sean Patula's game. You already brought this up. So whenever you see this guard who is quickly off screens at the top, getting exchange, ball handling, you're going to see him throw up 2 or 3 shots every possession and go, gosh, this guy just throws caution to the wind. They like spreading you out, as Mark has already made mention. Their three-point game, when it's on, it's deadly. So we've always praised Tennessee for how well they have fared at guarding the perimeter. You're going to need to do that for a 9 o'clock tip on Wednesday at Ole Miss. Tennessee has won 9 of the last 10 against Ole Miss. That February run Tennessee went on where they went 6-1, I think, has projected them, and the momentum is carried over to March. You take a 6-1 stand. You have a heck of a win against Alabama. You know a double bye is coming up at the exit. You know the 1 seed. The last thing you want to do is take all this momentum after a massive win and then go to kind of a snoozer of a place down at the Grove and then slip up and not have that 1 seed anymore. I know a couple Tennessee fans, basketball history will take a monumental win, see what's on the line, and then drop the next game. I expect Tennessee not only to take care of business against Ole Miss, but then turn around senior day next weekend.
I think that was just a small jab at us. When we
that was not the Memphis. That was not Memphis.
And then we lost to Vanderbilt.
That might have been a little Memphis Vanderbilt, yeah, a little bit. But what I'm trying to say is that Tennessee's got something going right now. At the end of January, you joined us on the program, Mark, and I was like, after this loss to Kentucky where you threw up 45 three-pointers, you're 8th in the SEC. There's no chance you're going to be able to climb this mountain. 6-1. You do fall to Kentucky again at Rupp. You and I watched the game together. But what you've done is build all this momentum. You don't need Ole Miss or South Carolina showing up to the bathtub and pulling the plunger out. Take care of business this week. I know they're late start games. Tennessee has the defense and scoring prowess, especially the last 4 games. Jazz Lanier getting aggressive. These are winnable games for Tennessee.
Big win yesterday, big week coming up. Mark, anything that we missed before we wrap up the basketball conversation?
Again, I can't commend Meshack enough for just continuing to stick to it despite the challenges that he's faced this year. And I think you hit it that we did not talk about, which is going to be a first-team All-SEC guy in Chaz Lanier. He started that game out aggressive, and when he's aggressive, that gives our offense so much more confidence, and we're screening better. And so I'm excited to see what we can do down the stretch.
By the way, Jemai Mashak, after the game, talking to the media, he said, "I think I'm the best defensive player in the country. I think I'm the defensive player of the year." He stated his case after the win. After hitting the three, he stated his case for defensive player of the year, and he has a strong case.
Yeah. But great teams have guys that buy into their roles, and that's what this team has a lot of.
Him and Zakai on the same team, you get caught in that corner, good luck, boys.
Yep, it's difficult. This is a great month. Mark, thanks for everything today, and look
for
forward
having
to seeing you next week.
All right.
We will shift to Tennessee football. When we come back, Tennessee football gets ready for spring practice, but Josh Heupel with a headache to deal with in the secondary. We'll explain when we come back.